champion, Ferrari's biggest fan, as I think probably one of the coolest races, of course, after Australia just finished, obviously, the Miami Grand Prix in the United States of America, and what a great race it was. So here is our exclusive race reaction to, obviously, one of the highlights of the season. I have to say, I'm definitely loving the way the circuit looks, with all the beautiful palm trees, again, the atmosphere is just fantastic, obviously, with the Hard Rock Stadium over there. It's a really great race, and since 2022 the F1 has never been the same, of course, and not of course these four the newest cars, the generation cars, and well, we also have the newest race winner, right? So we will definitely talk about this. This was one of the better races that Ferrari had. I believe we definitely could have won it, so I was very pleased with the competitiveness, just how well we did, that we were able to keep up with Red Bulls, and with a bit of a luck. Of course, yeah, we could have maybe even had a 1-2. So I will tell you everything about it, and we will take a look at the final result over here, what it also means for the Scuderia Ferrari, right? As you guys are sure, as we are back over here to our summer fashion, obviously, for the 2024 season. And we will then also take a look at the drivers and the Constructors' Championship. The upgrades are coming. We are going to go to Imola, obviously, next, which is our home, and then we are going to go to Monaco, which probably will be, another great track where we could win, and maybe we will even be leading the championship after that. So why is that? Well, as you obviously saw in a sprint, it was quite exciting. A lot of drivers again, did a great job over there to keep up with the Red Bulls, and finally, I think we saw some hard racing, so it was greatly enjoyable, wasn't it? Yes, it absolutely was. So, for us, we started second and third, right? So the key was to try to get in front of the Red Bull, obviously, at the beginning, because if we are able to be ahead of the Red Bull, then, of course, they will be running in a dirty air, and, we would then have a great opportunity, especially having the both cars over there. For example, we could put them under the pressure with, let's say, the undercut, for example, or the overcut, right? So there would be lots of chances, but sadly, Charles didn't get such a good getaway. Also, Sainz basically overtook him, but Verstappen was able to cover him off. But what a pity that Sergio Perez didn't take out Hamilton, didn't take out Verstappen, because he, just like Hamilton, obviously, in the sprint, completely missed the braking point. Obviously, he said there's no grip. Well, everybody knows that, right? In Miami, you are on the left-hand side when you go to the first turn, not on the right-hand side. So nobody races there. Obviously, the track will be slippery. That's why there was no grip. So he just, kept going straight. Thankfully, didn't hit us, but, just brushed off Verstappen. What a pity. Both Red Bulls, were taken out. That would be probably the end of his career at Red Bull, but it would be much more exciting race, even though the race, again, due to the safety car, was still pretty exciting. But what a pity there, because when he went through, we also lost a bit of a momentum to Verstappen. Also Leclerc recovered in the second place, but Sainz lost crucially the third place to Piastri, who was now running third. So McLaren's were pretty strong, and that was an issue for us, because obviously we then had to fight with them, defend from them. Actually, Piastri then got into the second place, so that was surprising how strong the orange McLaren was, compared to obviously the Scarlet Ferrari sporting that. Very interesting. Well, what do you think about that blue shade? You can definitely let me know in the comments below. Well, I'm talking like the real YouTuber now, right? So you can definitely tell me what you think about that. But I personally didn't like how the Ferrari looked like, obviously, with the HP as a new sponsor. That's a big deal for Ferrari, so we don't need to worry about the finances. So future looks great, but I just hope that they won't destroy this great fashion that we have now. I think with red and golden touch of white, it looks much better than when you put, for example, black or blue there. But anyways, back to the race. The key point was that Verstappen wasn't able to create any gap, and that's really what made the race very exciting, because all of a sudden Piastri, for example, could do the undercut. But undercut in Miami, where you basically stop before the other car, and then use the fresh tires to gain enough of an advantage, so that when he stops you, then emerge in front, wasn't very powerful. So as a result, Basically it was just it wasn't such a good strategy, but the overcut, when you stay longer and then use the fresh tires, for example, to maybe overtake the car that stopped much earlier, was definitely the way to go. So I was very pleased that we stayed out longer with Sainz, but with Leclerc I think I felt that we stopped too early. Obviously he was always running between 3 to 5 seconds of Verstappen, and I believe that it was definitely possible because normally Ferrari was really good when it came to the tire management, right? I remember, for example, Japan in Suzuka round 4. So I quite don't understand why we didn't simply run long, since Miami is a one-stop race. But yeah, it was just a bit unlucky because obviously with Leclerc, he did a great job managing but always running in traffic. That dropped him back, once he stopped earlier than, for example, the Red Bulls. For Sainz, he stopped just one lap before the safety car came out, which is a real pity, because obviously he was right behind Piastri. We stopped at the same time. So I think what we should have done is, to simply do the opposite to him, because otherwise, you're just basically fighting, the cars that have the same speed, and it will be, hard to overtake, especially if you don't have a superior top speed, as I found out when I was racing it for real. And then, once the safety car came out, that gave big advantage to Norris, who was obviously up front. Again, the safety car, can easily give you 5 to 10 seconds, which was enough for him then to leapfrog Verstappen, who, didn't have enough of a gap, because as he said, he struggled, even hit the bollard. I think silly, childish mistake, but that turn is actually very difficult. I've got a lot of track limits there, as you guys probably seen in that race. So then after the restart, obviously we had Norris, we had Verstappen, we had Leclerc, and then we had the Piastri, Sainz behind him fighting. I think the rest with Perez and Hamilton, they were kind of out of it. I was hoping that we would have some chance, but with Leclerc's tires obviously being so old, I believe especially when Perez and Hamilton stopped for new tires, why we didn't do that? Probably didn't have any fresh set. So it's always important to keep the fresh set, because here, if when Perez stopped, for example, for Sainz, even for Leclerc, maybe that would have been a better strategy, to have a bit of a fresher rubber to be able to attack instead of pretty much just keeping the position. Norris, congratulations to him, his first ever win. He was able to defend Verstappen at the start, and after the, of course, safety car restart, and then he pulled up the gap of about 7 seconds. That's pretty impressive. Charles tried his best, and I was very pleased that he stayed within 2 or 3 seconds from the Red Bull of Verstappen. That's pretty good. So one of the strongest, I would say the second strongest race Ferrari had this season. The pity for Sainz obviously was that there was the argy-bargy obviously with Piastri, and sadly that also meant that while Piastri also gotten a penalty, Sainz also gotten a 5-second penalty because they touched twice, and that dropped us then to 5th place. So yeah, overall, third and fifth, again, not ideal, but again, we only had so far this season in all of the 6 races, we always only had one car that got between us and the Red Bull. So as a result, we are actually very, very close in the Constructors' Championship, and I'm very, very positive about the rest of the season. I'm sure it's gonna be awesome, and especially once the upgrades come. So now let's take a look at the classification over here, so we will turn our beautiful Scarlet Red Ferrari iMac. So over here, we can clearly see, the way it finished. So you can see that here, Norris, obviously it looks like a, easy win for him, but, greatly helped by the safety car. But we will still say, hey, good job, okay, for getting your first ever win. And then you can see how the rest of it finished. We were very close, just 3 or 4 seconds off Verstappen. That bodes really well for the rest of the season. So hopefully Scuderia Ferrari again will find a bit more pace, and then we will be the ones that can again the lead in the championship that Red Bull has, or for example Verstappen with Perez have, is it can definitely be overcome if we are simply faster. So over here we can then see for the rest of it how it then finished. Some interesting results. Piastri fastest lap, but obviously he dropped back when he collided with Sainz. So if we can now take a look at the drivers' standings. Okay, so I think for the driver's standings, yes, there we go. This is how it looks like. So Max Verstappen leading with 136 points, and the only other driver who have gotten over 100 points with 101 points is Perez. But Leclerc 98, very, very close, 38 points of the lead. That bodes well again. For example, in Monaco, Imola, these are our home races, especially for Leclerc. And if, for example, Verstappen has any issue, I believe Leclerc will definitely be ahead of Perez. This is a really great points total. Sainz, despite missing missing one race, is still there with 85. Well, Norris kind of caught up with that victory with 83, but the rest of it, his teammate Piastri 41, obviously Russell 37, Alonso 33, Hamilton, did a great job. Obviously, future Ferrari driver now with 27, Tsunoda has gotten there with 14. So basically, these are out of it. The championship could be between 5 drivers if obviously we will see what then happens, how Red Bull will be able to react to it. This is the Constructors' Championship, 239 points for Red Bull, obviously winning over here. Scuderia Ferrari 187. So as you can see, we are 52 points behind. There are 44 on offer in Imola. So again, we will see what happens, but we need the new upgrades. We need to have a better pace. If we have better pace than Red Bull, again, we are fairly close. Unlike, for example, McLaren, that only have 124 points, they have only pretty much half of the points that Red Bull has. Mercedes 64, Aston Martin 42. They are pretty much out of it. So yeah, that will be very, very interesting what exactly will happen there. We are definitely looking forward, to how the Formula One season will then, develop over here. I'm pretty sure, I'm definitely highly, highly optimistic. I did enjoy this race. I believe could have gotten a better start. I believe that with the safety car, we should have been a little bit, smoother on the tires, and then we would have been able to win. We didn't, but hey, Miami is a great city. You can see that great, views over there. So now let's hit some beach. Okay, maybe let's go to the Bahamas, for a while before we start the European leg of the season. This was Jan, Ferrari's biggest fan, the Jan Smiling Sun champion, reporting from Miami in the sunny Florida. What a beautiful weather! Great, enjoyable race. It wasn't, again, we were a bit unlucky, but I was quite pleased with the performance. There are lots of positives to take from this race, and I cannot wait. We just finished the 1/4 of the 2024 Formula One season. How about the other 3/4? Do you think we can fight for the championship? Do you think we can win it? Of course we can! Forza Ferrari, Forza Scuderia, and now let's go home to the home sweet home in Italy, and let's win! Forza Ferrari, and let's go! The most beautiful scarlet red Ferraris! Welcome to Miami! Let's race!